In today's video, we are going to be breaking down Dwight Howard and how he plays defense. Yes, he does have massive size and ridiculous hops, but today we are going to be breaking down how he is one of the better defenders in the NBA, in my own personal opinion. Okay, so in this first clip, we have the LA Lakers up against the Portland Trail Blazers. This player right here is an absolute monster on the offensive side of the ball. And of course, we can see that they have essentially double teamed him in that low post, but there is a very good reason for it. The number one reason is Dwight Howard is a monster defensive player in that key. But the ball is on this side of the court. So this is not just an individual player's skill on defense. In this case, it's his team helping him out. And what I mean by that is LeBron James is also defending this player. So that allows Dwight Howard to sit in the key because he's within arm's length away from that player. As you may know, you're only allowed a couple of seconds in that key defensively in the NBA if you're not within an arm's length away from a player. So when this player on this side drives towards the basket, we see Dwight Howard start to really pay attention and get ready. He's up on his toes. This is where you really want to be on defense. The reason for that is because now in this clip, he's going to be able to stay quick and explode up. Your calves are one of your faster muscles in your body, and because of this, this allows you to explode upwards faster. But as we can see here, with LeBron James guarding Whiteside, what we have is the ability for Dwight Howard to leave his man, take his one step after this player does a quick spin move on Kuzma. Dwight Howard's able to jump up and block that shot. Now, of course, this is out of reach for most players in the world. But if you want to be able to block shots like this, what this is essentially telling you is, yes, get up on your toes. It's going to be a little bit quicker to get off the ground. Having a helping player to defend your man in case there's a pass down to him does help. But from there, what we can see is for you, being a youth player or a high school player or a college player, you're allowed to sit in the key much longer than you can in the NBA without a player. So because of that, you could even be sitting your butt on that side of the key so that when this player spins off his man, you would be closer than Dwight Howard so that you can block his shot, or that offensive player's shot, Carmelo Anthony's shot in this case, much easier. Now in this next clip, we have Dwight Howard pulling up the trail. Now what's he do? He is timing this since he was at half court. How is he able to time this from half court? Well, let's see. He has a player on this side who is able to defend this shooter. He has this guy here who's a pretty good defender who can defend this shooter. At this time, Jamal Murray has one option, and that is to drive on Danny Green. Danny Green, in my opinion, is not as good of a defender as he used to be, and that's usually a good chance. Now, Jamal Murray is unable to see what's happening behind him. He doesn't have any players close to him to say, hey, watch your back. So from there, Dwight Howard's able to block that shot. Now, how is Dwight Howard able to block it from this distance? I'm going to tell you right now, he knows where his players are. He knows where his defenders are. He's able to come up, and at this time, you've seen that last step. He was now up onto his toes. Now he's starting to become quicker. He has that distance to gain, but with his speed and ability to be able to catch up, he knows that this player is about to go up for a layup because he just picked up the ball, and this is now going on to his second step. As soon as that player takes his second step, Dwight Howard is able to then know when to jump and where to jump, and because of that, he's able to block that shot. This is very similar. Now we have Green driving towards the basket, and we have Dwight Howard sitting on the side of the key. Again, remembering he cannot go in the key for more than a couple of seconds without having a player near him. So in the NBA, he would be sitting out along the side of the key itself, and sometimes this may benefit you as well. Instead of being in the middle of the key taking a charge on that player and having him go around you because now you're set up way too early, you can set up along the side and wait for him. Now, when that player does start to drive, as soon as that player picks up the ball in two hands, you now know he's going to take two 2 steps. Now, if you're the offensive player, you could really screw with defenders like this by only taking 1 step and going up for a floater. But as the defensive player, most cases, this offensive player is going to take 2 steps. That's his first step. That's his second step. You know you need to jump at this time, and because of that, he's able to block that shot, and so can you. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to call it an advanced technique because it's almost using the rules against the offensive player. So in this clip, what we see is a fantastic contested layup by Dwight Howard. Why is this fantastic, and why did he not get called for a foul even though he jumped and made contact? It's because he is entitled to that piece of ground right there. And because he's entitled to that piece of ground, because he's currently standing in it, this player is unable to go through Dwight Howard. That would be then an offensive charge, and even if Dwight Howard is inside that half circle, he is still entitled to his ground. You cannot be able to go through any player and make contact with that player. It's only when that player makes contact with you. Now, when it comes down to it, what we see is he's able to jump straight up. He is not jumping forward. He is not jumping backwards, not only jumping up and not sideways. So he also has his arms straight up. You can use this to your advantage. It's called the principle of verticality, and you are allowed to protect that piece of ground whether you're on it or in the air, as long as you are not going towards your defender. Now, because of this, that is able to contest that shot. I think he even got to block that shot as well. Again, you're still allowed to reach and block a shot as long as you do not make contact with that player. Now, of course, not every single referee will see that as a non-foul, so keep that in mind. Every ref is different. They are human. So remembering, some referees may still call this a foul on you. Or at least I should say, we would like to hope that referees are human. We may not think they are sometimes. Anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe. If you really want to jump higher, make sure to go check out my vertical jump training book down in the description below, and I'll see you guys again next time.